All right, today I'm on Solar Sailor and I'm charging her up. I'm at 83% now of my 13 kilowatt battery bank, and I have a 30 nautical mile trip ahead of myself. So 30 nautical miles, if I go 5 nautical miles per hour, that's 6 hours. And if I burn 2 kilowatts per hour, I should make it. Now, that said, it's winter time, it's cold out. My solar array, which is 1600 watts, is really not picking up too much. Today is December 4th, maybe 5th. The sun's out. It's gonna be a nice day. I'll get some power from the solar, but I don't know what it's going to be. So it's just a little outside my range. Now I'll be near some marinas and stuff, so I might have to just pop in somewhere and steal some juice, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Also, the winter, they take all the buoys in, so I haven't been on the water in the South Shore as extensively as previous years, so I'm hoping I don't crash into anything. But a few things are on our side. Tide is going out, and we're going to follow that tide from Freeport to Point Lookout with the tide, so I shouldn't burn too much juice there. And then at 11 o'clock it switches and the tide is going in, so we're riding the tide in our favor of the whole time. That also, with the tide going up, is important, because if we crash onto a sandbar, we only have to wait a little while till the tide keeps going up and we're free. Where if the tide was going down and we got stuck, we'd have to wait till, you know, the change in tide, which is like 6 hours later. So, waiting on my buddy, my cousin-in-law, who's the only guy who'd go with me on this trip. Everybody else is done boating with me. I don't know why. But he's green, hasn't been on a boat before, and doesn't quite understand what he's getting himself into. So he agreed to come. Moving the boat, Solar Sailor, from Freeport to Patchogue, which according to my Navionics is 32 nautical miles. The range, based off of my batteries, which is 13 kilowatts, is about 30 nautical miles. So it's a little bit farther than the range is on this boat, but there's two things that we have going for us today. And the first is that as we exit Freeport, we're with the tide and we're headed out towards Jones Beach Inlet, and we're riding the tide the whole way, so we're doing a little bit faster than 5 knots, which is what I have to do. We're doing a little faster than 5 knots and we're using less than 2 kilowatts. So if I do 5 knots at 2 kilowatts the whole way, I should get there. And then the tide is going to switch at 11 o'clock, which I don't know what time it is now. It is 10. It will switch right when we hit Jones Beach Inlet, and it will start to push us up. So we're going with the tide the whole way, which is going to help. And we have solar panels. We have about 1.6 kilowatts of solar. Given it's winter time, December 4th, it's not pulling in what it can. However, right now we're doing about 400 watts. So I'm burning 1.7, pulling in 400 watts. That's a loss of 1.3. And I can do that for about 10 hours, and the trip should take 6. So again, we should make it. If not, well, we'll see what happens. Starting now.
All right, everyone. So currently we're traveling to make it home at 10 o'clock Monday evening. It's Sunday, December 4th, by the way. Now Mark is going to give us a detailed presentation on the math of how we're going to get home to Patchogue today as the sun is going down, virtually. All right, Mark, take it away.
So we are, we've gone 5 miles in our 27 nautical mile trip. We are traveling right now at about 4 nautical miles an hour, actually more like 3 knots per mile. We're fighting the tide, and we're going to be fighting the tide for another hour, which is a problem. We're burning about 1.9 kilowatts, and we're taking in about 600 watts from the solar panels. This display shows that we have 5 hours. 5 hours at 3 is 15 nautical miles, but we need to go 24. So we're not going to make it at this speed to our destination. But when the tide switches in 1 hour, I'm hoping to do 5 knots, 6 knots, and still burn 2 kilowatts, which is very possible. We were doing that earlier. So at this rate, we are not going to make it home, but again, when the tide swaps in an hour, I think we will. We'll find out.
It's not gonna happen. We do have snacks though. We do have snacks. We have pretzels, and we have some Nature Valley cashew bars. So that will be our last meals. Didn't think they would come to cashew bars and pretzels, but yeah, later.
It's good. It's a good day.
Really can't complain.
Can't complain.
I gotta make this quick because the GoPro is dying. Right now, me and Mark are at, I don't know if you can see that, 7% of total boat battery life. Once that 7 is done, we cannot move. Currently,
Adam, how's your trip coming along?
no, it's good. Currently, we are awaiting our 5-star meal on the ferry that we just got on. Their heat broke though. So,
all right. Well, what's our current status is we are about 5 miles from our destination. We got 1% power, so we decided that we're gonna hunker down and anchor here until we have enough power to get to our final destination on Monday, which was not the intended choice. I thought we were going to be able to stop at a marina, charge up for an hour or two, and then make the final leg, but it didn't work.
Spirits are high though. We survived the night.
Day 2 of our one-day voyage. It was 23 degrees last night.
True.
And we were about 5 miles short of our destination. So we tried to stop at a creek and get power. And we were no farther than 15 feet away from shore, 10 feet away from our power pedestal. But it was too shallow and we couldn't pull in. So unfortunately, we had to pull out and anchor outside. We have 1% power, and I just turned the solar chargers on. Start pulling power. 7:30 a.m. And it's gonna be a nice day. All right, so we had to stay the night, and we were at 1% last night, but now we're at 2%. And we're charging at 50 watts. It's 9 a.m., but we're also using 100 watts into the, well, how many watts are we using? 175 to push the boat. So we're going super slow, 100 watts less than the solar's giving us, just so that we make it. We gotta go 4 nautical miles. And this trip's taken a day longer than it should have. But we're we're not stuck, you know? We're not stuck. Unlimited range, we have it.